2 years of war and genocide against the Palestinian population, Benjamin Netanyahu once again threatens to resume the genocidal war against the population because of how slow the retrieval efforts of the Israeli deceased prisoners are. Now, let's take a step back for a second. It's been 2 years of nonstop bombardment, artillery shelling, naval bombardment. Israel has flattened Gaza to literally nothing, back to dust. And all the crossings into and out of Gaza are closed, because Israel has control of them all. This includes the main artery, the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Palestine. Israel continues to violate the ceasefire agreement by not allowing any of the heavy machinery equipment into Palestine as agreed on in the ceasefire. They have not allowed any of the 600 trucks promised a day into the territories. It's been well below that. They've also been refusing to really withdraw as really agreed upon. Israel has violated the ceasefire hundreds of times already, but continues to act with impunity because they think they can. Now, I understand tensions are high. They've always been high in the Middle East. But Israel continues to complain about ceasefire violations by Hamas, yet continues to violate the ceasefire themselves. Israel has continued to kill, murder, and destroy hopes and dreams and lives of innocent Palestinian civilians during the ceasefire, despite Hamas doing what it can with the equipment it has, the limited resources it has at the moment, due to nothing being allowed into Palestine because of the Israeli restrictions on literally everything. Of course, the United States has, continued to support Israel, because, of course, why wouldn't they? They continue to blame Hamas for the ceasefire violations without any blame being put onto Israel for some ungodly reason. And now, today, I see that Netanyahu wants to resume fighting, bring the war back, which we know this. We know he's going to try because, A, his government cannot survive if the war ends. Trump has said the war has ended, yet Netanyahu has not, because Netanyahu is counting on the war continuing to keep his political career alive, essentially. And we know this. The Israelis know this. The Palestinians know this. But yet Netanyahu believes clinging on to power is more important than bringing home hostages and restoring Israel's name, which he's dragged through the mud, literally, for 2 years. His corruption trials, he continues to try to get out of those due to the fact he makes some excuse every time, because he knows he's guilty, but he's not a leader, he's a tyrant. Democracies do not commit genocide. Leaders of democracies do not kill and authorize attacks that kill children, 17,000 plus, women, over hundreds of thousands dead, pregnant women, hundreds of thousands dead, innocent men and women and children and animals, all dead because of Netanyahu and his corrupt, let's also not forget his racist government as well. For war criminals, Ben Giver, a convicted racist, and Smotrich, also a racist, and he's an illegal settler. Which also not forget the West Bank, which is also being destroyed by Israeli settlers and protected by the Israeli army, which is probably one of the most corrupt, evil, and immoral armies in the world. How they're not considered a terrorist military at this point, I don't know. They should be. Will they be? Probably not. Israel has never been held accountable to any of the crimes they've committed. None. Why? Because they got the full backing of the United States government, which is also probably not going to be held to account for anything. We got two countries committing genocide, destroying lives, destroying any simmer of hope in Gaza and Palestine. Yet they try to say it's in self-defense. It's not. They try to claim they're doing it for democracy. It's been America's excuse for years. Same with Afghanistan. The same when they went into Afghanistan, Iraq. The same when they bombed out Iran in June. We know nothing's going to get better in the Middle East until Israel is either held to account and held responsible and changes, and the leaders are exiled or jailed or put down, or when we start seeing true change of how the rest views the Middle East. Nothing's going to get better as long as Israel is allowed to continue waging multiple wars on different fronts over there. We've got Iran, we've got Palestine, we've got Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, all attacked by Israel. Let's not forget Qatar as well, and Tunisia. Nothing has changed. Israel continues to destroy and break and show why international law, international humanitarian law, all of it is useless. It doesn't work. Essentially, this 2-year genocide has also shown how irrelevant the United Nations is in 2025. They have not been able to do their jobs. They haven't been able to save lives. The UN has been paralyzed in the Security Council due to the 6 vetoes by the United States for ceasefire resolutions. The United Nations also needs to be reformed or completely gone away with, because they're still acting as if the world is the same as it was in 1945, and it clearly is not. The Soviet Union is gone. The Germans were lost. The world is different from 1945. We cannot keep allowing the United Nations to be run by superpowered-based countries. It's not working. It favors the powerful, and it dehumanizes the less powerful. It needs to change. Otherwise, what Israel has done for the past 75 years in Palestine, since the creation of Israel in 1948, when they unleashed the first Nakba that destroyed 750,000 people, it will not get better. It won't. And now now the world is waiting to see, is Netanyahu going to destroy another ceasefire, or will the ceasefire live up to the expectations and hold and bring a better future for the Palestinians and Israelis? Because at this point, several war fronts is not good, especially when you're losing most of them, because the world sees Israel as a rogue terrorist state right now, besides a few countries that don't. Protests are spiking all across the world in support of Palestine. The political echelons have changed as well, with more people favoring and sympathetic for the Palestinians than the Israelis. Once these older people are gone, Israel is going to be losing a lot, because the younger generation has seen what Israel has done and does not support it at all. AIPAC, once feared by many, is losing its power, its fear. You're seeing United States senators and lawmakers rejecting AIPAC because of the views of what the scene going down in Palestine right now. Pro-Palestinian lawmakers are winning seats in governments, and pro-Israel lobbyists are losing out. Times have changed, folks. We went to war to defend democracies, to defend Jews from the Nazis. We went to war to defend freedoms of everyone. Never again means never again. Not just for one people, but for all. That's what the world is missing right now. We need to do better. Never again. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and chat or comment down below. See you again next video.